Good morning, everyone. So, today I give you all the fifth benefit of practicing of Shunya, and this one is really amazing. If you see the picture that I've chosen for this is about a bird making nest. This picture actually defines what discipline is and what discipline can do. You look at nature. One thing you will always find nature doing things is in discipline. You see the sun, the moon, you see the seasons, everything follow discipline. Discipline means doing something consistently over a period of time. Then you see the magic of discipline. It then becomes a habitual energy. Many a times we tell people to be disciplined in whatever they want to do. We tell the children to be disciplined in studying, in behavior, in their activities. But then why is it that discipline is not so easy to practice? There are always elements of, procrastination that comes in. When you do some activity, you want to postpone it. There are things like you just are very inconsistent, casual about things. And you look at life, people who have not have had discipline in their life are the people who don't know where they are going. Discipline is like creating a highway. You need to work on it so that after that, every thought travels to that, from this point to that point. And if you look at the people who have achieved more in life, definitely the majority of them, I think almost everyone, have one thing in common, and that is discipline. How does that skill set develop with the practice of Shunya? Very easy. Every time you sit down, every time you observe your breath, every time you reverse count, and if you do that consistently over a period of time, that is why we always say we never force people to do this practice, but do it, say, even from 9 to 0 over a period of time. Unknowingly, you would have developed a skill set called discipline within you. Because even if you do one act in discipline, you will see that you carry that in all your acts. That's how the nature of things is. When we realize that when we put time and effort into one thing, we carry this skill set, and we do that with other things too. So why not do that with Shunya, which is a kind of an effortless effort to set a list of skill sets that can really change and transform our lives. And discipline is one. So getting the children to do that, it's wonderful. You'll see it's amazing. The transformation of kids who practice Shunya is really amazing. Rather than asking children to go out and play and do whatever they want, there are some times where you need to put in a discipline like this. Maybe that is the reason why prayers came in, where people were told to pray for at least 1 or 2 minutes, go on a Sunday to pray, make it regular. These things of repetition, these things of doing things regularly, even if it's in a small period of time, definitely was to bring about discipline. And I realize all this is to make one person responsible also, because when you are actually trying to be disciplined, you're also trying to be responsible, because without responsibility you cannot be disciplined. When you sit down as if it is your responsibility to sit down and practice Shunya, you'll realize that you have also practiced discipline. People who will be observing you, they will be seeing you very clearly. They will be wondering, wow, this is it. I always give an example, If there is a person who is selling something on the roadside, you see him, even if he's a small person who's selling some fruits or vegetables or whatever it is, but he's consistently sitting there at a particular period of time. Now, what happens is, initially probably people will not buy from him. But what happens is, because of his consistency, because of his persistence, because of his discipline of being there always, you'll see what happens is, someday, sometime, because you have been seeing this person regularly there, whenever you need something that that person has, the first thing that will come in your mind is that person, and you're going to go and buy that stuff from him. This is exactly, if you even right now realize, where do you buy things from? The thing, you always buy things from the people, from the places which are disciplined, which have their discipline very clearly marked. And we always have this habit of picking up things. What is advertising? Advertising is nothing but disciplined way of bombarding information into your head, disciplined way of bombarding a sales pitch into your head so that you go and buy a product. Isn't that what we need to do as DXNers too, when we set into a journey, on a journey as distributors of DXN? We need to also do the same thing. It's not magical that overnight you become a millionaire. But you see, the magic of DXN system is that people who have consistently, persistently, disciplined way, they have given their time and effort to DXN, you'll see they are the ones who are making their millions. They are the ones who are making all the fortunes that they ever dreamt for. They might have seen very, very insignificant in the beginning. Oh, this guy, do you think he will achieve? But these insignificant people, these unknown people, only because of their discipline, have achieved that success in DXN2. So, what is one of the greatest benefits of practicing Sunya in our DXN life is also that we will be more disciplined. When we are disciplined, with discipline comes loyalty. With discipline comes love. And all those things just come hand in hand. When I say these skill sets, they are not separated from each other. They are all interlinked with each other as a beautiful design on a fabric of existence. These skill sets just enhance your being. They make you more beautiful. They make you more amazing. And then slowly, slowly they transform your complete existence. So this is one skill set that definitely comes with the practice of Sunya, and everybody should experience this yourself. I've seen when we do a 2-day retreat, it's not easy, when we just 2 days, we tell them, you have to get up at 5:30, by 6 you get to be ready. We then start our Shunya session in the morning, then we have simple breakfast, then again in the afternoon we do have a talk session, then evening again we have a practice, then again the dinner. When we put in the discipline for 2 days, just 2 days of discipline triggers a kind of change in the life of many people. And whoever have visited the Shunya retreat, they have seen that, just 2 days. That is the power of discipline. So imagine if 2 days of disciplined work can do this, how about a period, a long period? Can you imagine 50 years Dr. Lim has been practicing Shunya? How disciplined that could be. You see, every great player, if he has achieved success in life, is because he trained himself. He was disciplined to practice before he went out in the field. That is what I say when you practice Shunya. So Shunya definitely is very, very important. And here, when we talk about reverse counting, observing the breath, sitting still, when we talk about discipline, when we tell them, just 9 to 0, you need to count, or 29 to 0, or 99 to 0, make sure you do not move. This is what we set the rule. That is for a part to help you understand what you need to do. Even not moving your finger, not moving or not scratching, nothing, just for that period. You choose it. If you want to do 9 to 0, you choose 29 to 0, but Once you choose something, then you follow the rules. So when we tell people to sit down, observe the breath, reverse count, in that period you're not going to do anything. That is what we call setting up the rules so that discipline is born. And you'll see it's not easy. But here in Shunya, what we have done is we made it, like in different stages, depending on the person who he wants to. So he can choose 9 to 0, and he can try to practice that in sets, a few sets, or 2, 3, or 29 to 0. He can practice that until he masters the skill of not scratching or not getting distracted with any external disturbances. And that little skill set that he develops of being disciplined and following the rules makes sure that his life will be disciplined too. You'll see the people who practice Shunya, they automatically start waking up early every day. They start doing their duties. They don't get distracted, because that's another skill set you also learn that helps you be more disciplined, and that is to let go of different thoughts. Like we heard in the last talk, you learn to be more, develop more patience and endurance. You learn to be concentrating and focused on what you're doing. So all these together, if you see, they help each other. But they're different skill sets, but they really work wonders. So that's from me today, and this is what I wanted to share, that one great benefit is discipline. And I owe Doctor's success in his life to this very, very important skill set. And if you see, even in the COVID period, when everything was almost not going right in the world, there was one person, Dr. Lim, who was doing things right, and he did it with so much discipline. He chose his way of interacting with everyone as a Facebook, and you see the discipline with which he came. He was consistent, he was disciplined. Even today, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, you will always see him coming live. He's planning, he makes sure that he will post a video on these days at 5 p.m. and the time and consistency, even as he said, even if it's a 1-minute video, even if he's super busy and he cannot give you more time, but he will speak for 1 minute. He will make sure that he will give that 1 minute for the time that he has allotted himself for. That's how he is: consistent, determined, persistent, and that changes everything. And you see, Shunya also can bring about such amazing changes in you. So I'm not telling you here that you need to be disciplined, put a calendar, put a timetable, write down these things and follow these things. We are not creating an army rule. We are not imprisoning ourselves. We are not putting you into a school where you are told to do these things, this is what you have to do. We are not chaining you. We are trying to tell you that the freedom that you have can be disciplined also. Carrying a dog, or taking a dog for a walk with a leash is not such a great skill. But trying to carry a dog without a leash and making sure that he is behind you, that is what I call discipline. So you see, people who are dog owners, they take their dogs for a walk. Everybody carries their leash along with that, and they tie the dog because they ensure that this dog is not trustworthy. He might just run away or get distracted or whatever it is. So they keep the dog tied up. But there are some, very, very rare, 1 in a million, I hardly see a few. They walk with a stick in hand and the dog follows the master. That's what I believe can happen with Shunya. When you practice Shunya, when you observe the breath, you reverse count, you sit still, you see what happens is you are learning the skill of unleashing the potential of your mind, and that is discipline. Shunya is the classroom where your little mind is being trained, disciplined, organized, so that it can carry that skill set in the world outside. You look at army, why do they go through the drills every day? Why they have to practice the march past? Why they have to do the drills every day? Is because they have to be disciplined. Because when the time comes, when the commander is going to give instructions, the whole unit is going to work as one thought. And if I believe we have not even scratched the surface of prosperity in DXN, we have just started. And if everybody works with that Ekaminda concept, the one mind concept of Dr. Lim, we will transform this world amazingly. There will be no kind of sickness or illness that man suffers from, because he will be disciplined again. Food, nutrition, there will be no kind of poverty left, because man will be again disciplined in prospecting, making their downlines, engaging himself in their work and doing, not getting distracted from other things. Suddenly life is going to change. And I believe if we go with the Ekaminda concept, one mind concept, we practice Sunya, consider that everything is interlinked, and we need to just do this consistently over a period of time. And then you can definitely share all the benefits with me here. So guys, you have any question on this particular aspect or skill set that can develop, post it in the comment section so that I can answer that. Sometimes there are so many things to do at home. I always try my best at trying to sit and reset myself. Great, Carlos. Carlos, when you see, if you try to think that you will get time to practice Shunya, it's impossible. You have to dedicate some time, then it starts working. So when you say, I have a busy life, yeah, but somewhere you should find that little space. It could be any time. That is why we never force that Shunya has to be done early morning after you get up or before you sleep or this. It is not like that. Find yourself that little moment and make sure that moment remains for that. It's like planting a tree in the garden, Your garden is full, but if there is this little space where you can plant a tree, small tree, you can surely plant there, and that should be its place. So you definitely very good. That will be a very good skill, Carlos. You're trying, even with so many things happening around at home, you're trying to do that. That's really great. Good morning, Niranjanas. Good morning, sir. Very, very nice. Is making her next ad per day. This is working at the home for the past time. Okay, but people is nothing. Okay, I did not get that. Okay, so let's see if there are any questions. Thank you, Dr. Savira. You have added me today. Disciple is the best way to self-good. Yes. Now here, let us understand the word discipline. Where does it come from? Discipline comes from being a disciple. Okay, disciple means being a student, a follower of something. You follow anything. If you're a musician, you are definitely successful only because you're disciplined. You're a disciple of that little skill set, that little passion that you have. You should be passionate about things. You should be a disciple, a follower of the things. So I believe Shunya, if we become the disciples of the practice of Shunya, we practice that, we study that, we learn every day, we will automatically develop the skill set called discipline. Yes, that is really, really good. So let's see. Fabula, I do it because I need it. Thank you, Dr. Savira. Yes, Fabula, we do it because that's one thing we need it, You can imagine, people today cannot even breathe right. Their breathing patterns have gone wrong because they try to control the breath and they try to do everything when they do these mental exercises and yoga and meditation, which is completely corrupted. I believe this. And why? Because when you look at Shunya, we just observe the breath. But the wonderful thing that happens by observing the breath, it is actually starts to calm down. It starts to get slow, subtle, to the point that even it vanishes. You will not even realize that you're breathing. Can you imagine? That's so amazing. With awareness, the whole thing is under complete peace and harmony within ourselves. And when you start breathing so subtly, so relaxed, do you think you're worried? No. Because your breath is the sign of what your mind is doing. If you're breathing so subtly, you're breathing so calmly, and it's happening to you, it definitely shows what your mental state is. So you're practicing that with Shunya, and I believe that is another great benefit of being a practitioner of Shunya, to gain this skill set. So I think with no questions coming up, this wraps up today's morning session on the benefits of Shunya practice, and we have covered 5, and these all are very, very important in whatever aspect of life you want to be. Maybe you're just a DXer and want to do business. Applying these skill sets, you'll see that it really transforms. But there's no need for you to go and get motivated from somebody who's going to teach you these skills, remind you, because all these skills that we know, yes, they are important. We know discipline is important. We know patience and endurance is important. We know letting go of things is important. We know all this. But yet, it doesn't happen because there is no practice to bring that forward. And that's what exactly Shunya is. Shunya is kind of a motivational school which does not use sound, which does not use energy to motivate you, but not even inspiration. It just makes you realize that that is your innate quality. You are meant to succeed in this life. If you understand one thing, that let things happen to you. If somebody is going to make things happen, so why do motivational schools just tend to motivate you for some time and then the things don't work? Because that's how it is. That's a push concept. And here sometimes people, inspiration, they talk about inspiration. You need to have an idol, you need to follow them. That is pull thing. Push and pull will always push you and pull you to the direction they want you to go. But what I believe Shunya is a point of realization. It's that takes you where you desire, where you want to go. And that's amazing because there is no push, there is no pull. It's an automated thing and it's developed over a period of time. So the Shunya school that we are teaching right now, what we are trying to tell you, you see, there is no teacher, there is no guru, there is nobody here. It's the easiest that somebody does. But yet the most powerful, because nobody's pushing you, nobody's pulling you. You're inside and you are the one that is learning to swim. You have found your way. It's the same. Everybody finds his way as soon as he's pushed into the water. So there's no need of a coach to tell you how to move your hands. There's no need for somebody to tell you, give you floaters to tell you that you need to float like this. It just happens. Let prosperity and peace happen to you. And that is possible with the practice of Shunya. So here we conclude our session, and you'll see that as you practice, these skill sets that you're developing are just amazing. So thank you again, and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.